Hi and welcome everyone. This is the 33rd Pan-European Conference. It is the last conference of this year, so we are very happy to be here. And of course, we are happy that you are sharing this learning experience with us. Let us know in the comments below how you are doing. Okay. I can see some greetings, from Romania, from Croatia, and also from Italy. Yeah, so it's very nice to read all these comments. Hello to you as well. Also from Bangladesh, I can see now. Okay, so let us know how you are doing. Maybe you are in a festive Christmas mode. Maybe you don't celebrate Christmas at all or are just looking forward to spending some time with your friends and with your relatives, which is also great. I hope you had, of course, an amazing year, 2022. It is most likely the time when we look back a little bit, when we recap all the challenges that lay before us, but also all the opportunities that, of course, arose during this year. I hope there were many for you. And I'm saying this because one of the opportunities that STEP Institute had this year was also to be a part of the already going on project GroWeek. And today's conference is also in the scope of the GroWeek project, and also the thematics are focused on these topics. I will share in a second also the web page of the project. You can go and visit it and see more detailed information about what is it. But basically, if we take a look back, when COVID was still hitting much harder, there was an ongoing transition to digital teaching, to online teaching, and the project recognized also the obstacles and reservations that were met when teaching online, especially some psychological barriers and also the lack of skills. So this project is focused on improving this situation, and its official or main paradigm is, of course, using the growth mindset when using digital tools. Let us know also if you are familiar with growth mindset, and you will hear also some of the topics today. So without further ado, I would just invite also our presenters in the studio so that we can meet them, and we can also greet them a little bit. Okay, so this is also the project website if you want to visit it. Okay, so we have today with us just 3 presentations in the end, because Nerea is unfortunately unable to join us, but we will maybe hear her at some other present Pan-European conference. Okay, so I would maybe now call Erika to the stream. She will. Hello, Erika.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon.
So how are you doing? Maybe tell us a little bit about yourself or about your organization.
I'm an English teacher at Electromureș Technological High School in Târgu Mureș, Romania. Târgu Mureș is a beautiful city right in the center of Romania. And we are partners in GroWeek project.
Yes.
Growth Mindset and Educational Triangles is its full name. And we had a task during this project to build a project to build growth mindset. And this afternoon, I'm going to present this project.
Okay, great. Then I would also call in the studio from Slovenia, Marija. Hi, Marija.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Better and better every day.
Oh, okay, that's great to hear.
Well, the holidays are coming, that's why.
Okay, I think, yeah,
Okay.
many of the participants feel the same. Yeah, can you just share maybe a few information about yourself, about your work?
Okay, so I'm also a teacher of English, coming from a small town in the rural part of Slovenia. I teach at elementary school, so my students' age would be somewhere from 9 to 15 years old. And today I'm going to present you what I and my school are still doing on as part of a project, a long-term project, how to help students with their mental health.
Okay. Well, we are looking forward to your presentation as well.
Thank you.
And then, of course, we also have Simon, who I'm adding to the stream just in a second. Hello, Simon.
Hi to all.
Hi.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I'm glad to be here. If I just shortly introduce myself, my name is Simon Grižonič. I'm a high vocational school teacher, and I'm also an entrepreneur. So my field is mechanical engineering, so I'm teaching mechanical engineering, but I'm also a teacher and entrepreneur where I'm teaching how to use online technology to teach online. And I have a background of about 7 years in the industry and 7 years almost teaching in schools. So that's my background.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing. We will go to the presentations in just a second, but before that, I would just like to share maybe some practical arrangement also with our participants, with our colleagues. So, yeah, all the presentations that you will hear today are available in our Facebook group, Pan-European Conference on Digital Education. If you are not a part of it yet, you are more than welcome to join, of course, and be updated on when the next Pan-European Conference is as well. The link for the certificate, which is, as always, valid for 24 hours after the conference, I will put also in the comments, okay, on our YouTube and our Facebook page. And yeah, last but not least, I would just like to invite all of the or everyone who is following us to pose the questions for the presenters that you might have. And we will share them. We will ask them at the end of their presentation. You can also share some of your thoughts, maybe some of your comments on the topic. This is, of course, a co-creative event, and we are most happy to also hear from you. Okay. That is it from my side. So if Erika, you are ready. For now, Marija and Simon, thank you. I will see you later.
Thank you.
Okay, Erika, this is just a second. Okay, so that's your presentation. If you are ready.
Okay, now we'll just move it with the arrows. Okay, so good afternoon again to everyone who hasn't been here from the very beginning. And I'm very happy to have you all here on this afternoon, just a couple of days before Christmas Eve. As I said, my name is Erika Ugron, and I'm an English teacher at Electromureș Technological High School in Târgu Mureș. And I'm going to present to you the ambitious project, GroWeek, we worked on with my colleagues, Edith Pal, Monica Frâncu, and Alexandra Tătar, all teachers at the same school. I'm going to tell you a few words about our school. which it was founded in 1973, and at the moment more than 900 students are attending this school. It is a technological school, and the students are prepared in specific fields in both Romanian and Hungarian. These specific fields are the technique and the services profile. We also have a kindergarten attached with 300 kindergarten children. Since 2021, March 2021, we are partners in the GroWeek Erasmus project, Growth Mindset in Educational Triangle. And due to this project, we had the task to create and to unfold a project which would develop a growth mindset in educational environment. So we embraced the challenge, and we created this project, and I'm going to present this to you this afternoon. These were our posters with which we announced our students what was going to happen in our school. As we decided for this project to create a week when we invited representatives from different foundations and associations, volunteers from different companies. We put our activities together and created these posters. The aims of the project were to improve communication abilities, to raise motivation for learning, to develop growth mindset and resilience, and to train digital skills with impact on the labor market competitiveness. This GroWeek project consisted in 14 different activities, whose specific objectives have all been linked to the general objectives of the project. The activities were organized by the members of the project team in partnership with business, academic, and non-profit organizations and various volunteers. The target group or groups of this project were our students, our high school students, 9th to 12th graders, and definitely our teachers, fellow teachers, and not only. This was our timetable for that week. In the following part of my presentation, I'm going to present these activities, what they consisted in. First of all, we had a Romanian army demonstration. Our senior students were invited to this activity. They were presented the opportunities of a career in army. They witnessed the presentation of weapons and military equipment, and they had conversations with students from military educational institutions. We had an internet safety activity, which was meant to raise awareness of the dangers we expose ourselves while being online: phishing, cyberbullying, blackmail, and how we deal with them. Our activity on vocational personalities was meant to identify students' vocational interests in order to look for appropriate career possibilities. We had an interesting activity on career planning between self-awareness and documentation. Whose aim was to develop self-awareness and to discover personal resources that could influence one's career. At this activity, we had different guests who talked about their career, the obstacles, the success they encountered during their career path. Two very motivated students from Babes-Bolyai University, Cluj, had a seminar on debate called Vitamin. Our high school students were very interested in this activity, and some of them had the opportunity to use their knowledge on the spot. They had a debate on whether students should have or not homework, and you might probably guess which party's argument was stronger. Mr. Peter Balog from the National Bank of Romania had an online activity on personal financial management, bank deposits, and bank loans for students. From a local business, team building company, MNCO Training, Farkas Kinga and Boca Mirela, two very young, two young and motivated ladies, visited our classes and challenged them with the Marshmallow Challenge, which consisted in, they had to create the highest possible tower using spaghetti, yarn, tape, and scissors. And in the end, not the tape measure, the tape measure decided who the actual winner was, but practically all participants were winners due to the reflecting time. They had a reflecting time on their individual and teamwork as well. Learning from mistakes and dealing with the frustration caused by failures requires growth mindset. My Health was an activity led by medicine students, volunteers at St. Balázs Foundation. They told about healthy eating habits, trying to raise awareness on ways to lead an active, though healthy life. We had an activity called EQ Builders, in which students, our pupils, could find out about learning strategies and quick reading techniques. Public speaking was another favorite of our students. They could hear about effective communication, about how to speak with a lot of self-esteem, self-confidence, and assertiveness. Event organizing, one of our another favorites, right? That dealt with communication, planning, and organizational strategies, and about handling a budget when organizing events. And our students could also put their knowledge into practice. They organized a music camp, cooking camp. You can see the flip chart pages here with their work. And the cherry of the top activity were our guests from the HIFA Association. Their activity was called Interactive Island, and practically people with disabilities talked about the barrier they faced and are still facing, but still live a full life, and they are valued as, they are full members of society. We ran two contests during this week, a Canva and an essay contest. We were curious about how our students feel and think about a growth mindset, how they perceive the idea. And they really came up with some very beautiful and valuable works. Here you can find our portfolio, the result of the Canva contest. They created some beautiful posters. Some of them are in English, a few of them are in Romanian. But all in all, they really caught the idea, and we ended up with some beautiful posters. These works are practically a proof that our students caught the idea of growth mindset, and hopefully they keep on going on this path. The results and the impact of the project. We received positive feedback from students, from partners. They found the activities interesting, interactive, and useful. Some of our guests, they still hope that we'll continue, and next year we'll organize this week as well. We also created a SWOT analysis on this week. You can see the strengths, weaknesses, threats, and opportunities that we have found in this project. Strengths: the cohesion of the team members, support from school management, existence of specific facilities, provision of mechanical logistics. Weakness: the disinterestedness of some pupils and maybe some colleagues, limited time resources, not allowing students to participate in these activities by a few teachers. Threats: the impossibility to correlate professional work schedule with the time allocated to the project. Limited financial resources, sometimes the fixed thinking of some people involved. And the opportunities are the good relations with the academic area, personal contacts with nonprofit organizations, availability of trainers and invited experts. And as conclusions, we can say that though it was difficult and not very easy project to fulfill, we did it. And the lessons learned are that some people's fixed mindset can be very hard to change, but it is still worth trying. We also think that GroWeek may be used as a good source for the alternative education week, Școala Altfel, that we have here in the Romanian educational year. Its aim being to introduce students to non-formal activities and best practice ideas. Here you can find the resources and the web references. You also have the growmed.eu webpage of this is the project's, the GroWeek project's webpage. And thank you for listening. And
okay.
If you have some questions.
Hello. Hi, Erika. Thank you for your presentations. We have a lot of people from Romania. They are very supportive. Also, yes, saying that it's very interesting and congratulations. I have shared the page already because they were interested in some more details. And there was one question, maybe you can answer because the project is still going on, but still Olympia is asking, Erika, what non-formal methods did you use in your activities and which were your results of the project? So maybe if you can answer as much as you can, or
non-formal activities. These were all extracurricular activities, so practically they weren't related to these. Though they were, some of them were held in classes. They were not regular classes. So this is what we considered as non-formal activities at this point. And can you repeat the second question?
Yeah, the second part was, what were your results of the project?
Oh, the results. The results were practically students' feedback. students' feedback and the results of the Canva and the essay contest.
Okay.
But these were the results.
Yeah.
Mainly.
Okay, so for now, thank you. There are no other questions. Of course, if anyone thinks of a question even later on to give to Erika, we'll have some time at the end, and you are more than welcome to. So thank you, Erika, for now. I'll see you more at the end again.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are going now to the next presentation. And I will invite Marija Klančar. Hi, Marija. Okay, I will add your presentation, Promotion of Mental Health in the Classroom. So if you are ready, I would give a word to you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Once again, a big hello from Slovenia. Today, I will try to present you with some of the activities that I, as a teacher of English, and also some of the activities that were carried out on the level of whole school. So let me just dig in. So first of all, the question, oops, sorry. Yeah, okay, so why did I and my colleagues start this project? So first of all, at first when we thought about this was when we came back from the quarantine, when students were starting to come back to school after we were at home for a couple of months. And we started noticing some huge problems, okay? So some of the students refused to come back. Some of the students showed clear signs of anxiety and depression. And that was the moment when we said, enough is enough, we have to start doing something about it. And when we started digging in, we found some data that were really a big concern to us. You can see some of the data on this presentation. The source where I found this information is UNICEF. And to me, it was a hair-raising situation. So we said, we have to start acting, we have to start doing something for these children. So how did we start this? How did I start this? Okay, so first of all, I wanted to make some sort of a plan, set my priorities, set some goals. And how do you do that? I carried out a survey to determine the problems, to see how many students have problems, how many students are facing with anxiety, with some mental challenges, because I thought that that was important. After I found out that students had problems, that they had problems dealing with stress, dealing with challenges on everyday basis, I talked to our school counselor, who was more than willing to participate and help me be guided in the right direction. She also gave me some suggestions, some guidelines. She also suggested proper literature. And the next step was involve the parents. So I firmly believe that if you want to succeed, it's very important to have parents on your side. So what I did was I had some workshops with parents. I invited the parents who had the skills that were related to the issue to have some workshops with my students. Here I have some suggestions. So what I did was I asked one mom who I knew was a psychologist, and another mom was a social worker, and they came and had a talk to my students. They had a workshop, and it worked out very, very well. Then another thing that I think is very, very important is you have to create a positive environment by setting a good example. That was very important to me as well. So you have to maintain positive and respectful communication. You have to enable students to feel warm and welcome, safe. So the classroom should be an environment which is relaxed and welcoming. Now I will present to you some of the activities that I included in my classroom, in my lessons. So the first thing that I did was I brought a bigger jar to school. I called it motivational jar, and students were invited to write some positive quotes, some proverbs that they found inspirational and motivational, and they put them in the jar. And when the jar was full, we started taking one piece of paper per lesson, and we read it, we discussed it for a short time, and some students even found some quotes very powerful, so we posted them on the board in the classroom, so they were like a reminder of some sort. On the school level, what we do every year, for a couple of years now we've been doing that, we have Christmas mail. So every year we have a week or 2 weeks before Christmas, we have Christmas mail. Students are invited to write positive notes to each other, and then we have some Santa helpers, and they bring the letters to the addressees, and there's lots of joy and excitement going on. And this year let me see, I have a number. Okay, so this year more than 1,000 letters were posted. So it was a big success, and we will carry out with this activity in the next years because it's a really, really good and positive thing for the students. The next thing, I wanted to include some relaxing techniques into my lessons. I didn't want them to be too time-consuming, so they were really short. For example, we would start lessons with positive affirmations. Some of them were also taken from the motivational jar. If the students were asked to write something, or if they were doing work on their own, I would sometimes play background music during some these activities. So the music obviously had to be like a quiet one, very relaxing and calm. Sometimes we would do stretching before the classes, especially if I saw that if I sensed that they were kind of sleepy or energyless. In springtime and in summertime, students would bring cushions and pillows to school, and they would keep them in school in their lockers. And whenever the weather was right or the vibe was right, we would take the pillows, go out, sit in the shady part, in the shade, and we would carry out the lesson. Maybe we would practice some reading skills, or we would practice their speaking skills. And it was really relaxing, and the outcomes were really good. Students didn't learn less, even though you would expect them to. Another big part of my project was to introduce students to mindfulness. I'm not sure how much you know about mindfulness. I can tell you in short that it's a meditation technique. It's actually based on some Asian meditation, but it was adapted to the Western way of life. It was developed in the USA, but later it became a really powerful tool for therapies. And nowadays, people find it useful on everyday basis as a way of being more present, as a way of being focused on here and now. So what I wanted my students to learn is how to be concentrated on here and now, not thinking about what happened yesterday, not worrying about tests tomorrow, but just being focused on here and now. So what we did was we carried out some short activities of mindful breathing, which would mean like they would close their eyes for a couple of minutes. They would concentrate on their breathing deeply and slowly. Sometimes I would invite them to, for example, name 5 things that they can see, or 4 things that they can touch, 3 things that they can hear, 2 things that they could smell, and 1 thing that they could taste. So it was really them focusing on things around them. Or, for example, for the second item here on this page, you can see color breathing. So we would assign certain colors to certain feelings. And when breathing, I invited them to imagine colors that would stand for anger or frustration or some negative things. When breathing out, they had to imagine this color. So by imagining this color when breathing out, they would kind of feel the negativity leaving them. I would also invite them to think about things that they are grateful for. So sometimes we would finish the lesson a couple of minutes earlier just to think and write what they're grateful for. Because sometimes we do forget to be grateful and to appreciate small things. Okay, I was very, very careful about the mindfulness in terms of preparing myself. I studied the literature. I tried it out myself before doing it with students. And I also wanted to know how students felt about this. So I carried out a small questionnaire with them. And surprisingly, more than half of the students liked the thing, liked the activities, and more than half of the students, I think it was 60% of the students, tried the breathing technique before the test. So they tried to calm themselves down, they tried to relax, and yeah, it was really encouraging for me that they really liked the thing, that they really liked the activities, and that we were heading in the right direction. Okay, so enough about mindfulness. Another thing that I think is also very important when we talk about mental health, it's positive self-image. Okay, lots of young adults, lots of teenagers have a huge problem with their self-image. We all know that social media plays a big role in that. So that is why we talked a lot about social media. We read materials that were critical about social media. I also encourage them to try from time to time fasting from all the Facebook and Instagrams and so on, or at least limit the time that they spend on these web pages. I also wanted to encourage students to find their own positive qualities. Once we also tried writing a letter, but they had to write a letter to themselves as if they were writing to a friend. It was a really hard task for them to do. They had really big difficulties. And through this, they saw themselves how hard we are on ourselves, how hard it is to find some positive things, to write positive things about ourselves. Another thing that's also very vital for every school to think about is you have to have strict policy towards bullying, disrespect, stereotypes, physical violence, or any form of violence, because school should be the place where everyone feels safe and accepted. And we know that this is not always the case. I dig through some of the research that was done in Slovenia, in Slovenian schools, and the fact is that almost more than half of all the violence, peer violence, happens in schools. in corridors, in playgrounds. So this is the thing that we should be really careful about and pay attention to. And another thing that I find very, very important is do not forget about yourself. Work on yourself, work on your mental health, educate yourself, because only a healthy teacher will be able to help their students to show a good example. I mean, this picture is funny in a way that you can see here, but I mean, for the most part, it is like that, you know, because we tend to forget about ourselves. I mean, burning out is a very common thing among teachers, so do not forget about yourself. I want to also tell you about the thing that we did at our school. What we did was we formed a team of a couple of teachers who were in charge of planning the activities, not only for the school, but also for the staff. So what we did was every month we had a day, an afternoon for ourselves. We had to take time off our families, off the work, and we would go hiking, walking, or just mingling, just socializing. And it was really, really good for us as an organization, as a team. And I think I suggest you do that because it was really good. Maybe to finish this presentation, I would like to remind you that all of this that I presented right now looks a lot. So maybe you're asking yourselves, how on earth did she manage to teach the students anything by doing all of these things that I said before? The thing is that I didn't do everything at the same time. Another thing is I tried to do as many things as possible as part of me teaching English. So for example, if I wanted to teach them reading skills, it didn't matter what I read. It didn't matter, you know, the topic didn't matter as much as the reading part. So what I did was I chose the topics that were relatable to students, that were important to students, that were dealing with mental health issues. And by reading the text, not only were they learning how to read or develop certain reading skills, they were also learning about the topic. And later on through discussion, when they were learning how to speak out, how to present their ideas, they were also thinking about the topic, building their ideas, learning things. So it's not as time consuming as you would think. So to finish my presentation is, I believe this thing is very important. This topic is of a big relevance, especially in these days, in these times. We know that children are also facing many challenges, and we are here to help them grow, to help them grow into healthy adults, and mental health is a big part of that. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions, just fire away.
Yes. Hi, Marija. Thank you for your presentation. It was great to hear what you were saying and telling us. So I would maybe first start with some comments or how it was also for our participants to return back to the classroom after maybe teaching for more time online. And they are saying, yes, that it was, they of course were missing the classroom and they looked forward, but at the same time, they are maybe noticing more fights and a bit less communication, and that they are also staying home more. So that were just a few comments. Also, there was one comment saying that it's good to know the role of a parent in your project, and that involving the family in life of the school should be introduced in other schools as well. So maybe I would like to ask a question, because you said that, yeah, you involved also the parents. Maybe after doing a survey of mental health of your students, so I would ask, how were the responses of the parents? Were they maybe surprised? Were they really welcoming of the actually what you are going to do next? And just their response maybe.
Okay, the response was really good, because parents were also concerned about their children. They were noticing problems and difficulties. The fact is that I started working with parents during online schooling. We met each other during quarantine time online through Zooms. We were Zooming because they were really struggling. Parents were also struggling a lot, and they needed help. They needed backup. So it was like a continuation of some sort. And they really loved what we were doing. And they were also very curious about certain things. I had certain meetings with them. I talked to them that they should be paying attention to their teenagers. You know, lots of parents are not aware that self-harm is on the rise. Lots of eating disorders are on the rise. And certain parents, I'm not blaming the parents, because it's so easy for teenagers to just close the door and hide behind the doors, and we don't know anything what's happening. So I kind of, I told them what kind of things could be going on. So certain parents were coming back to me and said, and were asking for advice. It was really good. We were a team. It was really a good feeling.
Okay. Yeah, that's it's nice to hear that. Yeah. So thank you. Maybe I will just share. Some people shared what they are doing. They said that they are also using some theater techniques. And also someone is saying that especially in physics, they tried multiple challenges like role play, team project, concept maps, and filming of team experiments. So these are some of the things that also others are doing. Okay, so for now, I think that will be it. If there will be any additional questions for you at the end, we will return back to those. So thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
And I'll see you at the end. Okay, so now we have another presentation, and with us is Simon Grižonič, who I'm adding to the stream. Hi, Simon.
Hi.
Okay, if you are ready, if you share your screen, then yeah, feel welcome to start.
Sure. Okay. Sure. Thank you again for having me. I'll be presenting shortly. Just let me share my presentation.
Yes.
Okay. So I will be talking about using video tutorials to maintain and even rise the level of knowledge. I'm doing this since I became a teacher, and I've been teaching for 6 years now in a vocational school. But also before becoming a teacher, I was working in the industry for 7 years, and one of my jobs were also teaching other engineers, let's say CNC programming or 3D modeling. And also at the time, so let's say 13 years ago, I was using video tutorials to help improve the knowledge of my students. And when I got to school, I kept doing it, and I got very, very good results. So what I discovered, or let's say find out in the past 6 years using video tutorials. It's not just for the last 2 years or 3 years when the pandemic started, but I was using it also before. And there are some, let's say, methods how to achieve better results, not only by using video tutorials, but also having our classrooms, online classrooms, nicely arranged. So it's very important that we have our classrooms put together in this way that it's very easy for our students to, let's say, follow our classes. Let's say, if we use many tools to teach, we need to have all linked to one page, one classroom, and if they don't need to go somewhere else and search for our lessons, they need to have everything in one place. So I arranged my classrooms as per day, and I put everything they needed to use for this day in one classroom. Although some lessons were connected to other online tools or other sources, everything was nicely arranged by the day we had the classroom. And even if somebody skipped a classroom, they just went to our classroom and found everything they needed to learn by themselves. So the first thing, the roadmap to success is a nicely arranged classroom, online classroom. Then I heard many times that the tool that they are using at the school, they were teaching my students, my attendees of my, let's say, workshops, were many times also teachers. They said that they are using some tools that they don't like that much. But I said, all tools are great if we take the best of what they offer. So we need to learn how to use our tools and take advantage of what they offer. I know there are better tools and some tools that are not the best, but still, if we learn how to use them, we can take the best of what they offer. And what I also implemented, of course, were video integrations. So the classrooms have the capability of integrating video tutorials. At our school, we are using Moodle. Then I heard many schools were also using Teams and so on. And if we cannot integrate the video, we can just put a link to a video that we uploaded, let's say, to Vimeo or to YouTube, for instance. As I mentioned, video tutorials are a very important part of my teaching, because since I started teaching, I started 6 years ago. Now I have 90% of my classes recorded. Of everything I'm teaching, I have 90% of the class of what I'm teaching video recorded, explained in a way that they can learn by themselves when they are at school or at home. And as I mentioned before, we can use this technique to keep the level of knowledge in our class and also rise the level. So if I have some students that are better than the others and want to learn more, I have additional videos they can use to learn more even during the classroom. They just put headphones on and they listen to my class when others are doing exercises and they have finished everything. They can learn even more if they want to, and they can learn even from home if they get sick or if they skip a class for any reason. So for me, it's very important that my students have a high level of knowledge, and I do what I can to keep it that way. Many teachers are saying that it's not that easy to produce video tutorials. But the reality is that the tools we have today are very, very easy to use. We can record as we present during our classroom. We just use, let's say, Vimeo has a plugin that allows us to record our screen, even though we don't have software installed on our computer. And also the video that we record gets automatically uploaded, and we can also edit it on Vimeo. This is one of the tools. We can use tools like OBS Studio or XSplit. There are many tools meant to record our screens and also webcams, so we can record on the go. Sometimes we are too perfectionists and we want to do it perfectly, but the thing is, our students don't need perfect videos. They need that videos at a time when they need to learn something. So I live by the saying, better done than perfect. Before, I was a perfectionist and nothing was done because I always wanted to do everything perfectly. Now I'm living by the saying, better done than perfect, and I do what I can. I was also teaching people from the industry, and when they came to my class, I asked them, do they prefer that I edit the video, cut them, and arrange them nicely, or do they want to have it right away? And they just said right away, it's better than perfectly edited. And if I mention the video editing, it's not that that complicated as it may sound. Today tools are very easy to use and very, very useful to combine different videos, add pictures inside, add subscriptions, and so on. So it's easier than you think. You just need to try it. When it comes to our equipment, I said that all of us have a portable studio in the pocket. That's our cell phone, our smartphone. So our smartphone allows us to record video, to record sound, to edit videos, and also upload, to go live, everything in our pocket. And if we take just this tool, we have everything we need to prepare video tutorials. But we need to add some new skills. We need to learn. And as the presenter before me said, we need to put the effort to learn new skills and get better every day. The way of teaching is changing, and we need to change, to embrace the change as well and learn new skills. I'm sure you have some equipment at home, maybe headphones, maybe a smartphone, camera. Sometimes people are saying, okay, I need a new equipment to have better results. Well, we will have better results if we learn how to use what we have. We have to get to know our equipment, and then we will have better results. Sometimes all we need are some basics. So let's say if we want to sound right, if we add just our headphones with our microphone, will sound much better if we are using the microphone installed in our computer. I will show you the difference. Now I'll turn on the microphone that's about 1.5 meters away from me. So this is how I sound when the microphone is too far from me. And I will turn back my microphone, my lavalier microphone. I have it here. This is how I sound when the microphone is close to me. So if we use some basic tricks, we can sound much better. And we can buy some headphones with a microphone for 10, 15 euros, and we will sound much, much better. And the sound is very important when we teach. And then there are some tricks how to look better on videos. I have here some pictures. This is when the lighting is just above me, and I have shadows on my eyes. But if I want to have eye contact that is very important when we are teaching online. We need to have lights in front of us. And just by turning the lights on top of me and turn on some other lights, I can have much better lighting. Or the other thing that we are doing wrongly often is we have the light just behind us, like in this picture here. But if we put the light in front of us and we are using just a window, you can see it here behind me, we can light ourselves much better and produce much better videos. So we need to get to know the basics. It's not that important to have the best equipment in the world. It's better to know the basics, how to produce better results. This is my home studio, but this is after years of teaching online and wanting to do better and better. But you can start with what you have. I started with a laptop and headphones. That's everything I had when I started teaching online. Now it's even better that on the picture, but I just wanted to do better. But for starting, it's enough having a laptop and headphones. I borrowed a saying from Oprah Winfrey, and she said, "We can become what we need to be by remaining what we are." And I completely agree with her. So if we don't embrace the change and we don't start doing something with our knowledge, learning new stuff, we won't achieve what we want to achieve. Thank you for being here with us today. If we want to contact me, you can find me on www.simongrižonič.si, and I will be happy to connect with you because I'm helping teachers and also schools to achieve better results, working with video tutorials, and I'm always happy to work with other schools and share knowledge and also share the benefits that video tutorials and video explanations can bring to our class. If you want, I can just show you very quickly what I'm saying, what I wanted to say when we are talking about lighting. Once again, in my studio, I'll turn off the lights that are in front of me. This is one of the basic mistakes that we are doing when teaching online. We have a big window behind of us, and the camera will set the lighting in a way that we become black, and the window behind us, it's overexposing the rest of the frame. So what can we do? We can put the window in front of us, and if this is not possible, then at least just cover the window with everything that will keep the sun outside and turn on the lights in our, let's say, studio or our classroom. In this way, we'll achieve much better results. And as I said before, if you want to sound better, just put the headphones with your mic on your head and you will sound much better because the mic is much closer to your mouth, and the sound for this reason will be for sure much better. These are just a few tricks that I wanted to share with you because I want you to achieve better results, and I want you to try to record some video tutorials because I'm sure that you already learned something from videos, and I'm sure you have something to share with the others with new video tutorials, maybe on YouTube, so everybody will take advantage of what you will prepare. So thank you for listening, and again, Tina, thank you for having me here. I hope more and more people, teacher, will embrace this kind of method for teaching.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentations. In the comments, we can see that they're saying that you gave them great information and that the presentation was really great. We also have one question, actually from Jana. So she said, great presentation, but her question is, how and if you are how do you check the effectiveness of the video tutorials? Meaning, how do you know that they have really enriched the students' knowledge and whether the knowledge is the sustainable one? So how do you maybe measure or observe the effectiveness and what you're doing?
Okay, sure. The first thing, they came to me and said, thank you, teacher, for preparing the video tutorial for us. Without having them, we would fail the class. I had many students that came to me and said, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is for sure one, let's say, key point. The other thing, I noticed that the overall results in my class are better than they were before when I started teaching, and I didn't have all these video tutorials. So the results in the class are better. I have less, let's say, fallouts, less bad students, let's say, but they are not bad students. Just they didn't get to learn the classes, the lectures by just hearing the lecture one time. Some people need to hear it more times, and video tutorials allow this to the students. And I also have more students in my class that achieve better results than before. So for me, these are the indicators that video tutorials are helpful.
Okay, thank you. And there was another question coming in. It's a bit more specific, but maybe I'll share it. And the question is, how do you get rid of the light reflection if you are wearing glasses?
Okay, sure. There are a few methods. I don't have my glasses here. I wear glasses as well. But if you have the screen, the monitor just in front of you, you will get the reflection from the monitor because the monitor actually it's a light source. So you need to have a stronger light source than the monitor to get the camera set this let's say the aperture and the time slower, so you won't have the big screen on your glasses. This is one method. The other method is to turn the light of the monitor as low as possible. You have less reflection. Then the other method is to have two lights, one on the left, one on the right. And if you know physics, the angle of reflection is the same angle when the light hits the glass. So instead of having the light just in front of you, you'll have the reflection hitting your glasses and hitting back the camera. But if you have the light, one on the left, one on the right, the light on the left will hit the glass and go this way, not in the camera. And the other light will hit the glass on this side and go that way. Another method is having a very big source of light. So if we, instead of directing the light in our direction, we can light the wall in front of us, and we will have a much bigger source, and then we won't have that spot reflection in our glasses. And I don't know which one is this. Fifth solution is to having a light above the camera, higher, and from the same principle, when the lights hit the glasses, the reflection goes down instead to the camera. So the worst thing is to put the light, if you have glasses, just behind the camera. This is the worst position. If you have two lights, it's better to put one on the left side, one on the right side. For instance, if we have the light only on one side, then one side will be better lit than the other. So that's why we need two lights to light ourselves better. Shortly, I hope I was not enough.
No, it was a great
technology. I just start talking and talking and talking.
It's okay. I think the audience was very happy with your presentation, so it was not too much, of course. Okay, so at the moment we are at the end of our conference. I would, before ending, of course, like to thank everyone who was following us for their input, for your comments, for your questions and thoughts. Maybe I would invite also other presenters just to say goodbye to them as well in the studio, if they're still here with us. So Erika, yeah, thank you also for your presentation. And we also have Marija. If you want to add something at this point, feel welcome to, or maybe you just want to say. Okay, then, yeah, it's okay. I just wanted to give you an option. But thank you for all the presentations. The comments are saying that it was very interesting. So thank you for being, yes, with us. I would like to say to everyone who is following us that I have put a link to evaluate the conference in the comments on our Facebook and YouTube page, so that you can let us know what you thought about the presentations. And also the link for the certificate is there. Remember that it is valid for 24 hours. All the presentations from Eric, from Simon, from Marija, you can find them in the Pan-European Conference group, of course. We will see you at the next Pan-European Conference, hopefully, which is scheduled for the 26th of January, 2023 already. What else? Yes, I wanted to also tell you that you can always follow us on our Instagram, Facebook page, if you need some other information, also on our webpage. Okay, so that's it, I think, for now. Thank you once again. And it is, of course, necessary to say that we wish you a happy ending of 2022. Let it be peaceful, but also fun, and a lot of new opportunities in 2023. So thank you, our presenters, and thank you everyone who has tuned in. And yeah, warm regards from Slovenia to the comfort of your own homes. See you next year.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Christmas too.